It's funny because this subject keeps coming up, and I feel like Spirit was kind of giving me a nudge to share with you all. And it just seems that the societal norm is to have numerous sexual intimate partners. You know, the more the merrier. For both genders, there's been this sexual revolution. A lot of people have wanted to explore the idea of normalizing casual sex between multiple people. And I've wanted to be very clear so that I could heal my own sexuality. And I have come to the conclusion for myself, and I can only speak for myself as being a woman, but basically the sanctity of my spirit and the de-aging of my physical body. This occurred once I began refraining from basically partaking in those intimate connections. It can be taxing for our minds, bodies, and spirit to be able to process that information, those DNA codes. Sometimes our spirit, our bodies, don't want to take on that information. So this is just something that I've noticed, is that when we don't overload the body with unneeded codes, unneeded information, we tend to preserve more. We tend to have a higher capacity to be able to process our own encoding, and our bodies begin to replenish and rejuvenate themselves on a deeper level. So we get to a point where we're evolving past those lower chakra states. You know, humanity has gone through survival modes, that root chakra, and now we're in the sacral, basically as a collective. We are exploring procreation and our sexuality as a species. We're going to get to a place where we no longer need to identify with ourselves as just and only sexual beings. We're going to be able to identify ourselves as heart-based beings. We have to be able to use this sacral energy that we're so obsessed with. We have to be able to use it in a creative way. So that's what we're learning to do. We're learning to get out of that mode of just looking for a sexual partner, using that energy creatively, and going into our higher chakra states, our heart chakra. We're learning to use our minds and our spirits. So a lot of the work that we're doing is healing the insecurities, filling those wounds and voids with unconditional love for ourselves. I do believe a big part of this work is to really heal the root issue, the root pain within our sexuality. Then we can come to terms and accept ourselves as whole human beings outside of intimate connections. For me, a lot of this work has had to do with loving and accepting my body, owning my body, not allowing others to over-sexualize it by validating it myself. Use it in a productive way, respecting it myself. Another thing I've noticed is humanity really puts a biological stereotype on our bodies. For instance, males are really pressured to quote unquote spread their seed. In an evolutionary sense, what would that mean for a conscious being that's wanting to heal one's sexuality? We don't necessarily have to go along with biological urges. For us, we're being guided to take the detour to healing. We're learning to find the path that leads to wholeness within ourselves.